Good evening. Hey, hush it. A couple of things I need to say first. I need to apologize to three guys who are here. Earlier on, they walked past me and they came up and they said, "Hey, you're Mike." And I said, "No, my name is Edward." And they said, "You look like Mike." And I said, "No, I am Edward." And they said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Malaysia." And they said, "Are you sure you haven't been here?" "No, my first time at Easter camp." And they actually got a bit scared and walked away. Where are those three guys? Where are you? Come here. Come here, little ones. Quickly. Just this way. Come here. Hurry up. This year, come this year, not next year. I just wanted to say, I am really, really sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. And I did it to you as well, didn't I? I'm sorry I did it to you as well. I'm really sorry. And for anyone else, I did that too. And did you know that the word gullible's been taken out of the dictionary? It's, see you guys, thank you. Go away. All right. Then, the next thing, shush. The next thing is there has been someone at Easter camp this year who has been spreading malicious, evil, nasty lies about me. And I want to put the record straight. Shut up. I want to put the record straight. It was a mountain, not a hill. I jogged up that mountain and I was carrying that stick insect called Croft on my back. And the reason he says that stuff about me, I need to explain to you, is he's insecure. Because he looks at me and he feels inferior in his very being. But can I tell you something? I cannot wait. Tomorrow morning, he's going to be at the Fielding Easter camp. And I was there this morning, last night and this morning, and I'm just going to tell you, this is a secret, you're not to tell anyone. Listen, 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 this is great. They're going to introduce him, and then when he starts speaking, everyone's going to look bored, start talking to each other, and they're all going to walk out. Anyway, I just want to get on to what I want to talk about tonight. And because the time's a bit late and we haven't got loads of time, I thought what I might do is just talk about one verse in the Bible, because that can't take very long. It doesn't take long to talk about one verse. And it's actually my favorite Bible verse. It's been my favorite Bible verse for a lot of years now. And it's from the book of Zephaniah in the Old Testament. Just put your hand up, all those of you who have read the book of Zephaniah. Now, put your hands up. Can I just have the lights out there a bit more? There seems to be a lot of smoke in here. All those of you that read the book of Zephaniah, put your hands up. Okay, put your hand up if you have never read the book of Zephaniah. I want to talk to those of you who have never read the book of Zephaniah. And I want to say to you, read the book of Zephaniah. Because one day you will die. And if you die knowing Jesus, you will go to heaven. And somewhere in eternity in heaven, you will meet Zephaniah. How will you feel when he says to you, "Have you read my book?" And you say, "What book?" If for no other reason than that, read the book of Zephaniah. Now, it's only got 3 flipping chapters to it, and you can read it in 12 minutes. I timed myself once. And the first 2.5 chapters, they're all right, but actually they're full of woes and stuff like that to various groups that are going to suffer and everything. But halfway through chapter 3, in fact, Zephaniah 3, chapter 17, there comes this amazing verse. It is my favorite, and it goes like this. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He will take great delight in you. He will quiet you with his love, and he will rejoice over you with singing. That's a good verse, isn't it? It's a good verse. Well, I just want to go through that line by line, bit by bit. The first bit, the Lord your God is with you. You know, those of us that have been to church for a while, you know, we say that without even thinking. You know, those of us that go to more traditional churches, at the beginning of the service, the guy in the dress usually says something like, the Lord is here. And the rest of us say, his spirit is with us. And then for those of us that are more informal churches, sometimes we say after a worship time, the Lord was really there today. Like he wasn't there last week, you know? And either of us, we kind of don't get what we're saying. Do we realize what we mean when we say, the Lord our God is with us? One of the names for Jesus is Emmanuel, which means God with us. You know, when Moses met the Lord at the burning bush, and the Lord said to Moses, I want you to go back to Egypt and lead my people out of their captivity. Moses argued with God. It was a hilarious argument. It's always hilarious when we try and argue with God. And Moses was saying things like, but who am I that I should go? And who am I? I am but a nothing. And I know what Moses was thinking probably when he said that, because before I came here, I said to my friends back in England, I said, who am I that I should go to Easter camp in Hamilton? I am but a worm. I am but a nothing. I'm but a big fat hairy Greek. Who am I that I should go? And I said that because I was hoping my friends would say to me, oh, come on, Mike, you're all right, really. I wonder what Moses was thinking when he said to the Lord, who am I that I should go? Do you know how the Lord answered him? The Lord said, I will go with you. If I was Moses, I would have said, thank you very much, Lord. That's a nice sentiment. That's a very nice thought, but that's not actually the answer to my question. Let me see if I can rephrase the question for you. The question goes something along the lines of, who am I that I should go? Do you see what God did? He didn't answer Moses' question. Do you know why? Because Moses was asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, who am I? He should have been asking, who are you? Because in God's democracy, one person plus God is always a majority. Who are you? He should have been asking. And we need to know who he is. And all we need to, you see, all Moses needed to know was that Lord, his God, would be with him. Because that's what makes the difference. But what sort of God is it who is with you? The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. That's the second bit. What does it mean he is mighty to save? Just in order to illustrate, Blue, could you just come out here a second, please? Don't. Blue, just stand there. Can we have a spotlight on him? Hey. Okay, just flex your biceps. What one? The one you've got. Turn round. Now go away. Now I just want you to keep that mental image in your heads for a little while. Imagine I'm walking down a dark alley late at night with Blue, and walking the other way is a gang of gangsters. And the leader of this gang of gangsters stands in front of me like this. And he says, what you staring at? You wanna make something of this? You wanna start something? If he said that, I would look at him, I would look at his friends, I would look at Blue, I would look down at me, and I would run for my life. Because I've done the maths. We're going to get killed. But imagine I'm walking down a dark alley late at night, not with Blue, but with Iron Mike Tyson in the days when he could beat people up. And walking the other way is a gang of gangsters. And the leader of this gang stands in front of me like this. And he says, "What you staring at?" I would pause for a moment. I would think. And I would say, "Nothing very much." And then he might say, you want to make something of this? You want to start something? I would think for a moment. Then I would say, yeah, maybe I do want to make something of this. Maybe I do want to start something. And then I would say, "Mike, bite their ears off." Now, in this example, and this example alone, God is a lot more like Mike Tyson than he is like Blue Bradley. Because the God who is with us is mighty to save. He's a God with biceps. He is not a celestial wimp, the God we believe in. He is a God who changes people's lives. He is a God who transforms human beings. And do you know how he does it? He doesn't do it by going to the gym and making himself bigger. Do you know how he did it? He couldn't make himself, God could not make himself any bigger to impress us. So he made himself smaller in order to win us. And at his weakest point, Jesus did his greatest work on the cross. He is mighty to save. Because of that, he is mighty to save. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. Number 3, he will take great delight in you. What does it mean, he will take great delight in you? Well, I spend almost half the year traveling in different countries and enjoying myself. But half the year I'm at home. And whenever I'm home on a Sunday, nearly every Sunday I'm home, I go to my mum's for Sunday lunch. Now, you may be thinking that I go to my mum's for Sunday lunch every Sunday I'm home because I'm a good Greek son. And I know that my mum is very elderly now. She's 80-something. She's lost her birth certificate and can't remember. And I'm thinking of having a carbon dated. But she's 80-something. And you might think that I go to her for lunch to make sure that she's okay, that she's not fallen over, that she's not eaten the cat or anything like that. If you thought that, you would be completely wrong. You see, I go to my mum's for Sunday lunch because she cooks the best Greek food there is. On a Sunday morning, when I get out of bed, I phone my mum. I dial the number. The phone rings. 5 minutes later, she answers the phone. And she says, "Hello." And I say, "Hello, Mum." And she says, "Who's that?" And I say, "It's your son." And she says, "Which son?" And I say, "It's Michael, your son." And she says, "Michael, my son, it's you." She always repeats everything I say. And then I said, "Mum, today I am coming to you for lunch." And then she says, "Michael, my son, I am so happy that today you are coming to me for lunch. For I have cooked for you your favorite Greek food. I have cooked for you dolmades. I have cooked for you gleftigo. I have cooked for you moussaka. I have cooked for you macaroni do forno." It's okay, I'm back. I just had a moment. And then I say, Mum, your Michael is coming. But before I can go to my mum's for lunch, I have to go to church. And I go to church, and the worship goes on forever. The band, it's like, I think if I have to sing that song one more flipping time, I'm going to shoot the drummer. I'm going to shoot the worship leader. I may have to shoot myself. It's like, why can't you shut up? Hurry up, hurry up. We've sung this 63 times already. Finish already, finish. And then eventually the worship finishes, and then eventually the talk finishes, and the service is over. But before I can get away, everyone in my church, they stop for coffee, and people come up and talk to me. And it's like I'm having to listen to their boring conversation over coffee. And I'm thinking, oh, why can't you leave me alone? Don't you people have homes to go to? Go away, leave me alone. I don't even like you. And do you know the trouble with that? The trouble with that is I'm the pastor of the church. Eventually they go. I get in the car and I drive the half hour to my mum's, and as I'm driving, I can smell the gleftigo, I can see the dolmades, I can taste the macaroni de forno. My car screeches to a halt outside my mum's house. I get out of the car, I walk down the path, I knock on the door. 10 minutes later, she answers the door. She opens the door and she says, Michael, my son. And I say, hi, Mum, where's lunch? And I sit there and she brings it to me. And I don't know what to eat first. Where do I start? And for a moment, I'm paralyzed by ecstasy. Not the drug, you understand, that, because that's bad. I'm paralyzed by the feeling. And then sometimes I try and put all of it in my mouth at the same time, and it really does not work. You see, you can probably tell just by looking at me. What did he say? I take great delight in food. Did you know? Did you know that the Lord takes great delight in you? Before we met this weekend, before Easter camp happened this year, I imagine it was something was going on one level up. I just imagine it was something like this. Two angels were talking to each other, and the first angel was saying, God can't wait for this weekend. He's been looking forward to this for ages. And the second angel, what do you mean, this weekend? Well, this weekend's the weekend. This is the time God's been waiting for. And the second angel says, you don't mean the second coming? And the first angel says, no, that's not until, oh, I nearly told you. That's a joke, I don't really know. It's a, yeah. And then the first angel says, God couldn't wait. His people are going to gather in Hamilton, and they're gonna sing songs to him, and they're gonna play really ridiculous games, and they're all gonna get into tribes, and they're gonna make loads of noise and all of that. And God can't wait to meet them. God cannot wait to get together with them. You know, I know that some of you, before you came here this weekend, you weren't sure about coming. Your friends persuaded you to come. And some of you were thinking, well, there's going to be some nice girls there. We know who you are. We know who you are. And some of you were thinking, oh, hope the speakers don't go on too long and are boring. And then Andy came on and you thought, oh no, we're in real trouble. While you were doing that, God couldn't wait for tonight. He couldn't wait for these days to meet with us, Do you know, a little while ago, you know, loads of us, we actually find it really hard to understand and believe that God really, really, really likes us as well as loves us. I always found it hard. I always used to think, you know, God loves me because he's God, but he doesn't like me very much. He doesn't want to hang out too close to me. Do you know, God changed that in me years ago. I was speaking at some meetings somewhere in England, and I was with a friend of mine called Matt, And we were staying one night in the home of this family. And it was husband and wife and 3 sons. And the youngest was a little baby called Ben. He was about 8, 9 months old. And Matt and I were sitting in the front room while the mum was in the kitchen dishing out, putting the food on the plates. And I was playing with little Ben, because I love little babies, because they don't answer back. So I was going like this. I was going, Gucci, 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 goo, Gucci, goo, Gucci, goo. And he was probably thinking, what an idiot, but I didn't care. Gucci, goo. When suddenly I sensed something in the nappy region. Do you call them nappies? Yeah, good. In the nappy region. I felt it, and then I smelt it. And I can't stand that sort of stuff. So I was like, Gucci, Gucci, ooh, ooh. And it was like, I was embarrassed. You know, I didn't know what to do. So it was like, what do I do? And I started going like this. I started going, Gucci, 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 goo, Gucci, goo, Gucci, goo. And after a while, my arms started to ache. And I thought, what am I going to do? I can't keep this up. And I thought, I can't throw him away because they've made laws against that now. And then I suddenly had this brainwave. I said, hey, Matt, here's Ben. And Matt got hold of Ben and he went, Gucci, Gucci, ooh. And then he started going, Gucci, 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 goo, Gucci, goo, Gucci, goo. Well, after a little while, Ben started crying. I think a mixture of his nappies being full and running over, being stretched prematurely, and being hungry and smelling the food. He started crying. And then Ben's mum came in. And you know, God spoke to me through what happened next. She took a little boy and she began to feed him. And do you know something? She didn't hold him like this. She held him like this. She held him close. And God said to me, you think that the way I love you is like this? Because you're aware of all your mess and all your dirt and all your sin. But I want you to know, I love you like this. I love you close. I love you close. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. We're going to have to speed up. He will take great delight in you. Number 4, he will quiet you with his love. What does it mean, he will quiet you with his love? A little while ago, I was shopping in Watford and I was in a supermarket and I was there with my shopping trolley. Do you call them trolleys? Oh, good. I was there, and I was standing in the frozen food section, in fact, by the ice creams, which is where I do all my shopping. And then after a little while, I noticed this little boy. He was about 4 years old, and he was standing on his own by the frozen peas. And I thought, why is a little boy standing by the frozen peas when he could be standing by the ice creams? What's wrong with him? And then I noticed he was going like this. He was going, and I thought, there's something wrong here. Because, see, I have the spiritual gift of discernment. And just at that point, these 2 older ladies came along, and they said, hello, little boy. Hello, are you lost? And the little boy went, yeah. And he let out this horrible screech that went on and on and on. And after a little while, a message went over the loudspeaker system. Would the mother of a little boy who answers to the name of please come to the frozen peas and collect him? A few minutes later, his mummy arrived, and she came and she picked him up, and she said, come here, little boy, come here. You see, she didn't know his name either. Come here, little boy. Mummy's got you. I'm so sorry I lost you. I'm so sorry I left you. It's all right. And she was going like this. And as she was doing this, he was going like this. He was going, Have you noticed they always hiccup at the end? What was she doing? She was quieting him with her love. She was saying, it's all right, I'm here. There are some of you here tonight. On the outside, you're smiling. On the outside, you're laughing. But for some of you, if you're honest, on the inside, you're crying like that little boy. Life's gone wrong. Life hurts for all sorts of reasons. And I believe with all my heart this weekend, the Lord your God who is with you, the one who is mighty to save, the one who takes great delight in you, he wants to quiet you with his love. He wants to heal you with his love. And finally, I'm just going to mention this in the last minute. He will rejoice over you with singing. When I first read that, I thought, that can't be right. That's got to be a wrong translation. It's our job to rejoice over him with singing. He doesn't do that. But you know what? It's what the Bible says. And you know, it goes even further than that. The original Hebrew phrase that is translated in our Bibles, rejoice over you with singing. Do you know what it literally means? It means he spins like a top and lets out whoops of joy. I'm not saying that, God is over you. And one or two of you, I don't know why he does, but he does. I don't know why he does over me, but he does. Tonight's very simple. Tonight is not very profound, except it is. If we really knew in our hearts the truth of that one verse, it would change our lives. As Blue just comes up to join me, and maybe band, why don't you just come up just to give everyone hope? I'm just going to say one last time this verse. Receive it. Receive it. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He will take great delight in you. He will quiet you with his love. And he will rejoice over you with singing. Guys, what we're going to do now is we're just going to for a moment before the band start playing, just in the quietness for a moment, I just want to invite those of you that you know you need to respond to it. Let's all of us just for a moment just stand where we are. Let's just stand. And Father, we just give this little time over to you. And we say, Father, would you meet with your children? Father, would you meet with your church? Lord, just set us free. Heal us. We long for you. Just wait for one moment, just one moment. I just want to invite those of you that you know that God tonight has touched something. It's maybe that you've never really known he's actually with you. He's felt far away. It may be that you need him to be mighty to save in your situation. And it's not about overpowering you. It's about becoming smaller and weaker to win you. It may be that you can't believe he takes great delight in you because you think you're not worth anything. For a number of you, you need him tonight to quiet you with his love. You need him to quiet you with his love. This is a safe place. This is family. We've all come in small families from many different churches, and we're here as one family. If you need the Lord Jesus to meet with you, to begin to quiet you with his love, to begin to set you free, to begin to show you his delight in you, I'm going to ask you to do a brave thing. Maybe on your own, or maybe come with a friend. Just come and just stand at the front here. And it's not about it's just saying, here I am, Lord, I need you. I need you. Would you meet with me? From wherever you are, we're going to wait a few moments. Just come now. Don't be afraid of being first. Just come. Some of you, you know. That's it. We're going to wait for folk to come also from the back. That's it. If you know, Now, we're not going to hype anything up. We're not going to manipulate anything. But we're going to ask Jesus to come. Jesus to meet with us. Jesus, the Lord our God who is with us, the one who is mighty to save. He's mighty to save. He takes great delight in you. He wants to quiet you with his love and to rejoice over you with singing.